Let's talk about the coronavirus relationship breakups apocalypse. That sounds exciting. You think you're going to have all this time together. It's going to be wonderful and full of peace and harmony. And what happens? Everybody's emotions are running high. Everything is going crazy. Nobody feels safe in the world anymore. And everybody's freaking out on all levels. So, the coronavirus isn't just about a virus. There is so many people that are probably going to be calling this the coronavirus a relationship apocalypse because if there's going to be domestic violence on the rise, there's going to be people trapped together, all that are emotionally triggering each other all the time. It is a recipe for the crazy train. And the emotional triggers are definitely where everyone is in this big pressure pot. And our soulmates lock us together with key messengers on what is inside of us. So when you open it up and with all this pressure, things blow. And you got to start looking at your relationships and learning what your emotional triggers are. So, emotional triggers are if I say you are fat and you think you are fat and you don't like that about yourself, then you have an over emotional reaction to me calling you fat because you believe you are, you don't like that about yourself, and you're divided from your own unconditional self love. So then you get your feelings hurt, and now you say something back to hurt that other person. Or you get emotionally triggered and you shut down, or whatever happens. Then there's no escape because you're locked together. You can't just go to work. You can't just have to take the kids somewhere to get away. Everyone is in this pressure pot and is stuck. So that leaves a lot to game overs unless you really know how to do self work and you really know how to see your relationships as a key to what all these things are that are going on inside of you. Your insecurities, your weaknesses, the things you hate about yourself, your imbalances. So if you are with someone who is a tightwad and you're over generous with everything, then you need to start balancing out your over generosity and come more into alignment with give and take. Or if you're with someone who is confrontational and you're non-confrontational, you've got to learn to start handling confrontation or it's going to be game over because all of these imbalances are going to start making each other all hit these emotional triggers all the time. And right now, there's just not enough to do. So you have a lot of time to sit there and run circles around in your head about things. And people have a lot of time to pick on each other because they're just bored. And you see this in all kinds of things. Kids at school that are locked together, in prisons, animals if they're locked in cages. The human psyche just cannot handle this kind of situations. And so it starts going to all these go-to moves to try to protect itself or bury its insecurity, weaknesses, and trauma in someone else. So what can you do about it? Start looking at all of your over emotional reactions and seeing what they are about. Meditate, exercise, really get in tune with yourself and do some soul healing so that you can start saying, okay, when this person calls me fat and I emotionally react, it's because I hate that about myself. It really doesn't have anything to do with them. So let's say you're skinny and someone calls you fat and you know you're skinny. It doesn't hit your emotional trigger, so they don't bother you. And so then you don't have this over emotional reaction. But if someone hits a chord in you where you have an unhealed trauma or you have an inner wound, all of a sudden the emotions go crazy. So it's very enlightening to see relationships as keys and messengers to ourselves. What do most people do? They say game over. They're like, okay, I'm out of here. You're a jerk. I don't like you, and I'm done with this. And then they probably get another relationship with one similar to the one they just left, or with new messages for them to learn and grow from, and triggers that are still going to be hit just in a new way. So We can't run from emotional triggers. We've got to start learning how to sit in the issue and deal with it and know what to do about it. So figure out safe zones. If you're getting triggered and you are fighting with your partner a lot, then you guys figure out parts of the house that you can go to until your emotions calm down. Because if someone's emotionally worked up, the first go-to move is to hurt the other person. Or if you're emotionally triggered, then your brain is not functioning like it normally would, and you say something that you're going to regret. So it's okay to take times out, meditate, journal, start looking at your life and your emotional triggers as the places inside of you that you need to heal and evolve from, instead of thinking other people need to be a certain way or change or do something to make you more comfortable. Don't put up with abuse. I'm not saying that. There's a lot of safe houses out there, and there are people that will unfortunately cross the line and things will get to physical abuse. And emotional abuse to me is just as bad, but physical abuse leaves you with broken bones and all kinds of things that you will need medical attention for. So I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you are emotionally triggered and it's something you can do something within yourself about to change, then do the self work. Figure out what it is. Because next time, if that person calls you fat and you decide to unconditionally love yourself being fat, they won't trigger you. And you'll know. You'll know when you're done through the trauma and you've healed from it, because you won't have the same reaction to them anymore. So I hope that's helped with our idea about relationships, how they get stressed by the coronavirus, what you can do about it. It's definitely going to be a time of divorces and all kinds of stuff happening. Probably increase in crime rates, increase in spousal abuse. All kinds of things are going to be happening from this because people don't know how to deal with their emotional triggers and they've never learned how to heal their own traumas. So let's work through this coronavirus as a healing experience and get to the other side stronger from it. So I hope you have a great Sunday. Check back next Sunday. We're going to be getting into a whole different topic and learning about all kinds of new things that are happening with the industry and anyone that performs dances, strippers, that kind of thing, are not getting the same kind of treatment as other people that are getting benefits, and the government is not honoring these people. So who are paying taxes? So we're going to talk about that next week and dive into the heart of what's going on with people's soul wounds and how this is a mirror and a reflection. So have a great week. Don't go crazy. Don't get coronavirus, and don't have a breakup unless you really need to say game over and it's not just the coronavirus. Thanks for watching.